Hi boot campers, welcome back. I hope you had a great week with flexibility last week. This week we're talking about resonance. Resonance is so important to what we do as singers, and we really need to make sure that we're using our resonance to propagate our sound so it sounds fuller, so that we're not just using our vocal folds. That puts a lot of strain just on these teeny tiny little muscles. So when we can use our resonators appropriately, we can make more sound, prettier sound, without stressing our vocal folds. So that's what we're going to talk about this week. The first thing that you should do is you should go to the comments section and you should watch the video about resonance and where resonance happens in our bodies. So do that first, that's your step one. And then you can do some of these exercises. So just like always, we start with breathing, but there are some exercises that lend themselves to think about breathing as well. So fricatives, we talked about as semi-occluded vocal tract things. So Z's, V's, and THs with voice on are all semi-occluded vocal tract, but they also create kind of a buzz up here in our lips, and that will help us really start thinking about putting our sound forward near those resonators, the resonators that are here, here, and there are also resonators back here, but the fricatives really, we're going to concentrate on these facial resonators. So the first thing you're going to do is take a V, a Z, or a TH, and you're going to hold it as long as you can. You can hear the buzz that's happening. That's exactly what you want to happen. Then you're going to do it again. I picked an F. I might pick something a little lower this time. And then you're going to pick a different fricative. So we did Z. Now I'll try V. You're going to hold that again as long as you can. See if you can make your second one a little longer than your first one. The first Z, I felt kind of right behind my teeth, which makes sense because that's where your tongue touches the roof of your mouth. So the air is kind of really turbulent right there, so you're going to feel a buzz. When you do a V and a Z, or when you do a V, your teeth bite your bottom lip. So you're going to feel a buzz right on this bottom lip. Again, we're moving that sound forward, so we're not letting it concentrate on our vocal folds. The last one is a TH, again a different note. And you're just going to hold it as long as you can. So for this one, we bite our tongue, not too hard, but you're going to feel your tongue vibrate. So that's going to be really funny too. So you're going to have lots of different sensations waking up these muscles and waking up these resonators. So that's what we're going to do for breathing. You can add in some buzzy oohs to kind of put all of that together. Pick a note that's comfortable for you. And remember, we really want to create that buzz right here in the front of our mouth. And just hold it as long as you can with that nice buzzing sound right here in the front. Then we'll move on to some vocal function things. So lip trill is a great way for us to think about resonance as well. The whole point of lip trill is again to make sure that the pressure is not super different above and below the vocal folds, but it also makes us really aware of our oral structures, which helps us move the sound forward when we're working on resonance. So secondary benefit is resonance from a lip trill. So always starting down, and we're going to do do, re, do, ti, do, so, do on a lip trill. If your nose is itching by now, you're doing it right. As you go into these exercises, make sure that we're remembering the breathing that we just did. We're breathing from way deep down, relaxing all of those pelvic floor muscles, and just letting everything relax so the breath can come in. So we went down, going the other way, going up, still on a lip trill. On a lip trill. So always making sure that you're focusing that sound forward, using consistent vocal energy, and try not to bump too much on your intervals because it's changing your breath pressure when you're doing that. So try and make it as smooth as possible. All right, so if your face is buzzing, your resonators are getting good and warmed up. So we're gonna head back into those fricatives to extend our range just a little bit and think about waking up our resonators across our range. So just picking some octave slides. Let's start on a Z, and we're going down. And can you hear that buzz that's happening in there? It's kind of, you hear all this air kind of moving around like that. That's exactly what we want to happen. It's creating this buzz and this feeling right here in the front of your mouth that helps us remember, oh, the sound needs to come out this way, and it doesn't get stuck on the vocal folds. So we're thinking about waking up those resonators and moving sound into those resonators instead of keeping them here on the vocal folds and creating a lot of tension. So then pick the other one and go the other way. Now we're going to do a V. And so that's what we're doing. It's not going to be your most beautiful sound because it's a fricative. So it's just air moving really quickly and kind of bouncing around in your mouth, but we still want to have nice clarity to the tone. All right, so moving on from that, we're going to move into our resonators. So we've woken up all those resonators. We're saying, hey, here I am. I feel that you're there, so let's start making some sound. So there are 3 resonators that we really like to think about, and we use all 3 together to make a complete sound when we're singing. But I like to isolate them in my warm-up so that I can think about when I listen, which one do I need a little bit more of? And you can hear more about that in the video in the comments. All right, so let's start with the passion. This is this open space right here at the base of your skull. This is your like, hey baby, va 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 boom. This is this like deep, dark kind of sound. Not necessarily deep because it's lower, but it's this full, open feeling. And I like to do this on a O vowel because that happens at the back of our mouth. And so just doing a, oh no, let's do a little lower. Whoa, 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 and down. And then whoa, 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 down. Did you hear how I started out kind of thin and then I opened it up? I was listening to myself and I wasn't using my full resonator, so I tried to open it up a little bit more. Let's see if I can replicate that. Did you hear how it kind of opened up? So that's our passion resonator, and I would do that a couple times as you're going down the scale. Then once you do that, think about we're getting into our giggle resonator. This is the resonator on both sides, right in the center of our face, right here. This is your like wicked witch resonator, right? I'll get you, my pretty. Not our prettiest resonator, but we don't sing it at all by itself, except for right now. So this exercise is not meant to be pretty. We want it to be as forward focused and pointy as we can. And always going up. So this is, nobody's gonna know if you do it wrong. Mim, minna, 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 mim, minna, 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 mim. Okay? I don't know, it reminds me of Mad Madam Mim. Mim, minna, 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 min, minna, 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 min, minna, 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 mim, 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 minna, 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 min, minna, 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 min, minna, 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 mim, mim, min, minna, 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 min, minna, 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 min, minna, 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 min, min. Not the prettiest sound, but you get the idea. So when you put the passion and the giggle together, you get a more complete sound. So what we can do for that, I know many of us are familiar with the Zuma exercise. Zuma, 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 ma, Zuma, 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 ma. And what's nice about this exercise is that it uses the Z to kind of get that feeling happening up front, and the ooh happens kind of up here, but we fill out the back of our skull, so it kind of puts these two resonators together when we sing the Zuma thing. Let's try here. Zoo, ready. Zuma, 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 ma, Zuma, 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 ma, Zuma, 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 ma, Zuma, 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 ma. So using that Z and that M together helps us stay in this resonator and this resonator. So you can kind of hear how those things come together. It's a more complete sound, but still not totally complete, right? So that's where we need the third resonator, which is the height resonator. And for this, I really do like the buzzy ooh, and I would combine it with a Z because the Z helps us get started. So the height resonator really does happen kind of right here. There's open space in our skull right here, and so that's where we want to kind of spin the sound to happen like that. So I kind of like this one. And I would go up. So you can kind of hear that ring, that buzz, that spin that's happening, however you want to describe it. That's what we want. But again, that by itself, it's not complete. It needs some of this and it needs some of this. Let's think about how we're going to combine this with one of the other ones first, though. So for the height and the giggle, I like to start bringing some vowels in because resonance happens on the vowel more than it happens on any consonant. So I like this one. Let's try, it's E, O, oo, ah. Those are your vowels. And we're putting height and giggle together. E, E, O. Okay, and we don't want to press at the end. I pressed a little bit there. Don't do that. Let it float right out the top. So you're kind of moving through those resonators, through that giggle into that height space. So it's E right here, E, O. And so you can kind of hear it kind of spin up and out, and that's what we want. All right, so we did height and giggle, now we want to put height and passion together. This is a good exercise for puddle uddle. I don't know if you guys are familiar with puddle uddle, but my chorus really loves it. And so puddle uddle is good because a lot of these vowels happen right back here, but it's kind of a jumpy exercise. And so that's where we want to get the spin happening with the passion resonator. All right. Puddle uddle, puddle uddle, puddle uddle, ma, puddle uddle, puddle uddle, ma, puddle uddle, puddle uddle, puddle uddle, ma, puddle uddle, puddle uddle, ma, puddle uddle, ma, puddle uddle, ma, puddle uddle, puddle uddle, ma, puddle uddle, ma, puddle uddle, ma, puddle uddle, puddle uddle, ma. I think I changed keys in there somewhere, but you get the right idea. So it's a jumpy exercise, so we want to make sure we're getting that height resonator, and the happens in this passion resonator, so we're sticking those two things together. So again, it didn't sound awful, but it wasn't complete. So what can we do to complete all of the resonators together? Well, I would think about a song that you're familiar with, like You Are My Sunshine or My Country 'Tis of Thee, and I would sing through it thinking about each one of those resonators. So first sing through it in the giggle resonator. Yeah, we did passion first, but we'll do giggle here. No, lower. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. That's not pretty, I won't finish it. But see how we can get into this resonator and isolate just this resonator. Then let's think about the passion resonator. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when hard to get into that higher octave without adding a little spin, but you could hear that. It was very different from the last resonator. So then let's put it into that height resonator. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. So you can hear each one of those three resonators. You could hear the spin, you could hear kind of the pointiness of the giggle, and you could hear the big open fullness. Wouldn't it be prettier if we put all of those together? And so then we do that. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. And so you would sing the whole song trying to incorporate all of those. And it takes time to listen, and you might have to record yourself to listen to hear where you feel like you're stronger or more naturally resonating, so you can think about adding the other ones. I hope you found this helpful.